What is going on, everyone? That is Brad of DemonAsylum here. I'm bringing you all a new Destiny video. I already had something planned to post for my second video tonight, but I actually ended up seeing Bungie tweet out information regarding the next patch they're going to be dropping for Destiny, which they said could be coming out as soon as next Tuesday, January 13th. So I decided I'd go ahead and make a video for you guys, sort of breaking down this update, because it does have a lot of information regarding things I'm sure you guys are going to be interested in. It's mainly about the Crota's End raid, but there's a couple other things that are thrown in here too. So let's go ahead and get started. We have Crota's End updates. The existing Pit Treasure Chest reward moved to killing Yut, the Death Singer. She has a chance to drop exotic weapons and armor, class pieces, and radiant materials. The Pit Treasure Chest will now contain radiant materials. So to start off, if you don't already know, the Pit Treasure Chest is the first chest that you get in the raid that is in the first part of the Little Abyss area. And that is no longer going to be able to give you exotic weapons, armor, or class pieces. It's only going to give you radiant materials. However, they took that reward that you were able to get from the chest, and they now made it so you get those possible rewards from killing the Death Singer, which everyone agrees there should be rewards you get from killing the Death Singer. And I think that a lot of people agreed you shouldn't really be getting exotics from a chest that you can get literally in the first door right to the left when you jump down into the first part of the raid. The next thing we have here is the Pit Encounter. Removed the physics impulse caused by exploding lanterns. I made a video about this. It's basically something that allows you to solo the first part of the raid. You get up on a rock behind the second lamp, and the AoE of the explosion, once it sucks up the amount of light that it can to give back to you to take away your darkness, once it gets up to the amount of 10, they will blow up, and the AoE will actually blast you up into the air and up on top of the next section of that first part of the raid, and make it very easy for you to just solo that first part. So that's going to be patched. They're basically turning down or vamping down whatever the AoE or the physics impulse, as they said, caused by the exploding lanterns. Next is the bridge encounter. Players will now be required to cross the bridge in order to complete the bridge encounter, so no more having everybody jump off the edge or go to the back of the room and, having I almost said wizard, having a warlock use his fireborn ability to come up at the last second and make everything on the other side of the bridge spawn up. No more doing that. Players will now also be required to wait for the bridge to be completed prior to crossing with the sword. This one is because there was people who were taking the sword from killing the first sword bearer on the side you start on, and then jumping really high into the air towards the other side of the bridge and just swinging the sword over and over to get to that side, and basically killing the gatekeeper and then just taking out all the enemies that come at him. It is the method that the person who soloed the whole raid by himself, I forget his name, but it is the method that he used to do it, and that's going to be patched as well. The next thing we have here is the Death Singer encounter. Fixed a rare case where the Shriekers would not spawn, preventing players from reaching the Death Singer. That kind of speaks for itself. Of course, it has nothing to do with cheesing. That could happen to anybody. Next we have here is the Crota encounter, so the actual boss fight. Two sword bearers will no longer spawn at the same time at the outset of the encounter. So if you didn't already know, when you first go out into the boss fight against Crota, if you go and kill the first sword bearer really fast with rockets, for example, a second one will come out right behind him right after, and you can kill him too, and basically have two people hit Crota in the amount of time that it should take you to really only be hitting him with one sword, but you can be hitting him with two. So they're fixing that. Next, they have Crota will now recover from his knee-kneeling state after a player quits. This is obviously because there was people doing the network manipulation in which they'll have the fire team leader quit the game when he's kneeling down, and a lot of the time it'll make it, if you do it correctly, it'll make it so he stays down the whole time, and then you can just easily sit there and hit him without having to actually worry about him killing you at all. Next, we have fixed a bug that allowed players to remove the presence of Crota using a Radiance Warlock's Fireborn ability. Presence of Crota makes it so that you don't regen health. That is why the Chalice is part of the fight. If you had everybody basically get killed with only one enemy left before the boss fight, and then you had the Warlock res using Fireborn at the last second, it would basically do the same thing as it did for the second part of the raid, where it makes everything spawn on the other side of the raid, except for this situation, it would make it so the game doesn't actually load Presence of Crota, so during the boss fight, everybody will have the ability to regen health instead of having to worry about using the Chalice. And the last thing here fixed for the Crota encounter is fixed a bug that made the Oversoul appear destroyed to some players and a fire team when it was actually still active. So again, much like the Death Singer encounter fix they did, this is just another legitimate issue, or just an issue in general that was happening regardless if you were cheesing or doing it legitimately, that they're fixing, which, you know, is nice to see that they're not just fixing stuff that has to do with cheesing, they're also fixing legitimate issues that clearly a lot of people are having when doing the raid. Now moving on from the Crota's End raid here, we have a little update for the Vault of Glass raid as well. Exotic weapon drops in the Vault of Glass are now level 32, so once this patch actually comes out, when you get an exotic drop from doing the Vault of Glass, whether it be a piece of armor or a weapon, it will be the upgraded version of that piece of armor or weapon, so you will not have to go and get it upgraded by Zur anymore. It will be the higher base attack or base defense values that came out with the Dark Below DLC and update. Now, aside from those major updates here, a couple more things they noted in the article. The maps for Crucible Asylum, the Anomaly, and the Burning Shrine will be added to existing Clash and Control playlist rotation, and then Iron Banner will return with updated rewards running from January 13th through January 19th. And then it just says full and final details for Raid, Crucible, and Iron Banner updates will be provided as patch notes next week. The last kind of cool thing they had here in this update article was basically explaining to us, giving us pictures and lists of the top 10 primary, special, and heavy weapons that Guardians level 20 and above are using, spanning over all activity types for the past 2 weeks. And it's a pretty cool list actually, and it allows you to kind of see like what everyone's using who's level 20 and up, and allow you to see if you're using guns that are in those top 10. You know, it's really cool to kind of see what everyone's using and to see what the most used weapons are, at least for the past 2 weeks for people level 20 and up, which is, you know, really what matters in the end, because everybody's sort of working towards all those end game weapons, whether it be for Crucible or PvE. But yeah, this is really interesting to sort of look at and see all these different weapons that people are using, and there's actually a few different surprises here to me, honestly, in some of these top 10 lists. But I definitely recommend checking out this whole article about the update, all the information, and definitely the top 10 weapon list. Those are really cool as well. I'll put a link to this whole update article in the description below. It's just on Bungie.net. And yeah, so that's basically it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it or found it informative. The video I was going to post tonight, I will likely post tomorrow or in the next couple days. If you guys did enjoy this video or find it informative, though, make sure to drop a like on it down below and subscribe for many more Destiny videos to come. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. Facebook.com/DemonAsylum is my Facebook page, @DemonAsylum is my Twitter, and DemonAsylum YT is my Twitch channel that I stream on. I'll link those in the description below, and for any that you follow, I do very much appreciate. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video or found it informative. Thanks for watching, everyone, and peace out.